Welcome back to Diva Talk, and we are continuing the powerful conversations. This one is on age.
And we are bringing back a diva to this conversation who was part of Diva Talk in season 1. He will be our special host in season 3 conversations. He is a doctor of philosophy in holistic natural health and nutrition, amongst many other amazing things. Please welcome Dr. Sixto J. Sicilia.
Thank you.
Good to have you back, honey.
Thank you very much, girls. I messed that up.
There's no boyhood going on over here.
Oh my God.
But you know, you're a special exception.
Okay.
Now,
and also joining us in this conversation is my beautiful, beautiful sister, Michelle Myers.
okay.
You're so pretty.
Oh, thanks. It's my ring light.
Oh, I have one too.
I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty.
Me and Mia would do that. You're so pretty. Thanks. One of those things. Like, okay, thank you.
It was our way of saying fuck you across the dinner table without getting in trouble.
You're so pretty.
All right, well, what do you say we dig into this age conversation? Because I wanted to bring this up because this was kind of a big birthday for me this past year, 2020.
Me too.
Oh, really? How old are you?
30. And it was my 30th.
Happy birthday. When's your birthday?
Happy.
August 29th.
Okay, so you had a big birthday in 2020. And I just had one at the end of the year. I turned to the big 50.
Oh, you don't look 15
well,
at all.
Thank you.
I would have never guessed that.
I do feel fabulous in 50. And yeah, I was just, I had a really hard time approaching this birthday because I felt like, God, this is not how I wanted to celebrate my birthday. This is not how I wanted to be at 50. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on, but I just felt like age is probably a good thing to talk about because we all have our issues with it. So I guess first question is, how do you feel being your age? Michelle, we'll start with you.
So I had a harder time when I was 29, about to turn 30. It was, and the closer I got, it was 30. I'm about to be 30. When did that happen? It is more of it's more of what was going on in my head is when could this have possibly happened? Because the last thing I remember was being 21 and going out to clubs. And now I'm 30 and even passing by a club in my car makes me nauseous. I just don't want it. I want nothing to do with anything about it. And now I'm to the age where I'm 30 and I like to be at home and I like to cook dinner with my husband, and we're going to be starting the process of having children, and I am absolutely loving this 30th birthday year more than I was thinking I was going to last year.
Isn't that funny? I just find it funny like that we go from like this kind of adventurous spirit to like these like we want to stay at home, and then maybe we go back to the adventurous spirit later on in our life.
Right.
Yes,
We're like,
yes.
We're like sitting at home doing puzzles and we want to go out and we want to travel. And we've been to, we've been together. This October will be 5 years, and I've been to Europe now twice, and I go skiing a few times. I've been skiing a few times, and these different things that I've never done in my life before. But at the same time, at the end of the day, I just want to be home. I just want to be at home with my dog, which is not something I thought I was going to want I thought I was going to be much older by the time I started wanting these things.
I think it's great. I think you're at the perfect age to feel these things. So this is a good time to feel that. But Sixto, you were saying, are you feeling more adventurous now at your age?
Yeah. Yes. when you get to be older and you know that, time is ticking and there's not going to be a lot, I mean, relatively, we can go at any time. But you definitely think things differently. I think things go from career and relationship, like careers and that kind of thing, the work life, what am I going to do, your purpose. And it kind of shifts over to really the main thing is relationships and people, and having that stability of when you get to a point where you're going to need more people. And especially like, we're probably, we talked about before, is that we live in a society that doesn't really, revere the older generation. So you want to have that stability of friends and family and all of that kind of stuff. It's really, really interesting. Like stuff that I never even thought about before.
Well, and do you feel like because you have a background living in Cuba for a time that there's more of a kind of a revere for an older generation than there is?
Absolutely. I mean, I grew up, even when we came here, you grew up and everything that you did was multi-generational. It wasn't just young kids, it was old people and young kids and everybody went. And that's the way it always had, it always was, until the old guard started passing away, and then those traditions kind of stopped. And it's kind of like, I don't want them to stop. I loved it. Every time we went out when we were young, there would be, maybe it was at at someone's house or a Cuban gathering, but there was always multi-generation of people. And the old people were always looked up to and looked after, but that's not the way I feel now.
Who's looking after us?
Hello. I mean, I say it all the time with neighbors and things like that. They're older, and it's like one neighbor of mine says she loves being older because people take care of her, but it's not, because people do stuff for her, but it's not like, it's not there. It's not like a net. It's not like a safety net for her.
This is why it's good to have kids, I think.
I don't know if I trust my kids to take care of me just yet.
Yeah.
I don't trust your kids to take care of you just yet.
It's kind of a terrifying thought with, my children. They're not quite at the age. I hope that we'll get to have the conversation with my daughter on at some point, but they're not at a stable age right now. I couldn't even imagine wanting them to take care of me.
I was going to say, do you need taking care of right now? I just meant older, like when you're older.
I think if even a man came into my life and tried to take care of me right now, I'd be like, fuck off. I've got this, okay? I'm just reaching my stride, I feel like, though. I look at Michelle, my beautiful baby sister, turned 30, and at 30, God, I was in this space where I was like, I've got to figure my life out. I've got to have all the answers. I've got to know what I want to do. And I was very driven. But I also was in a space, I think I'm the exception to the rule as far as that's concerned, because I was in a very depressed state the first portion of my life. So by the time I hit 39, I didn't want to live. I was like 40. Why would I want to reach 40? I've accomplished nothing with my life. My life is horrible. Everything sucks. I'm out.
Yeah.
But then, you come to now after having done all of the work that I've done, and I've accomplished a lot of things. I'm still not where I want to be, but
of course.
Who cares? I'm enjoying life. I'm enjoying the journey. It's what I'm enjoying.
And there's no timeline. I mean, I've done probably 90% of what people my age now want to do. But I've traveled, I studied overseas, I did this, I did that, but I did it all at a younger age. So I have a lot of friends that now are traveling and going to all these places, and because they're at the age where they don't have to work as much or whatever might be their situation. But I just think it's kind of interesting. I think we all have a path that maybe we do and we don't know about. And we just have to accept where we are. I don't think anybody's a failure. I think, like right now at my age, I just finished getting a doctorate. And I'm saying, why didn't I get this sooner? And blah, blah, blah. But, the little friends upstairs that start telling you things. And it's like, we don't know why things happen the way that we do. And it's not like I sat around picking my nose either, right? So maybe I'm supposed to do, start something new now at this part of my life. Which will actually make my retirement years a lot more, I think a lot more, I don't know, a lot more richer, a lot richer.
Yeah.
What is your age, Sixto?
Do I have to say it?
Yes.
No.
Okay. March 28th, 19 blah, blah, blah. Did you get that?
Oh, that age. Okay.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
say the age.
It's 62.
Oh, you said it.
Yeah, I don't care. It's just a number.
You did say
I
it.
don't feel that age. It's like yesterday I went hiking up to the Hollywood sign. We wanted to channel the Hollywood sign girl, right? Just kidding. But we went up there and it's like, I saw people that were younger than me struggling. I don't feel my age. So I think it's all a number.
Yes. Yeah,
You
I
saw
agree.
me
I feel the
struggling.
same way.
Except for a couple of aches and pains, but that's just because, I think we all do crazy stuff.
Do you feel like, Michelle, because you're younger than the rest of us, do you feel like you've kind of hit the point where you're starting to see your body change, or you're not there yet?
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. It's I have always had I've always been in pain. I see it more now, I guess. I turned 30 and it just kind of skyrocketed. I feel like I'm going to the doctor all the time, trying to figure out. I guess before it was like, I'm in pain, but who knows what I did. What did I do? Did I sleep? Like, I worked in a bar. I did this, I did that. So did I pull something? I'm young. I'll get over it. Now I hit 30 and I'm like, I don't care if I'm going to get over it. I'm going to go to a doctor. I'm going to figure it out. But yeah, my body just, my husband likes to hike. I'm not a hiker. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible that I married into this. I'm more of a let's open a bottle of champagne and they're like, let's go ski this mountain or go hike. And I'm like, what? Take me shopping. I'll go drink hot chocolate in the lodge. Thanks. I'm not an outdoorsy person, but I go because I did it. I said I do, and I will do. And but yeah, I can tell that my body is, I feel like it gives out on me way more than it used to, for sure.
Oh, says the 30-year-old.
Right,
Says the 30-year-old.
Which baffles me, because at 45 years old, I work out with weights and hike at least 3 times a week, and I feel fantastic.
See, when you were 30, did you work out and hike?
No.
Could you have done a hike like those things at 30?
On the amount of drugs I was on, yeah.
Okay, so I'm not. So if you were not on those drugs, I don't work out. I don't work out. The most I do is when I take my dog. I have a Great Dane. When I take her around the block, and even then, I'm like, oh God, let's go back inside. Have you peed yet? I'm over it. I just don't. I'm not a. We got a stationary bike. I've ridden it 4 times, and it's just sitting in the living room. I don't have any interest. So I can't do these things. I can't do them because I don't put the effort into training my body to be able to.
The muscle strength and the bone. Yeah. You're right.
And your body remembers. It has that muscle memory. It remembers, how you,
Believe me.
Yeah, like it's
a year without going to the gym now. And, being very active and yoga and going to the gym and doing treadmill and taking my bike and blah, blah. And all of a sudden it stopped. Like the first 6 months, it was okay. But now it's like, muscle memory is going somewhere. So I'm very excited that next month, I think the gyms are going to open, I'm looking forward to it. And then, have my vaccine done and all that stuff too. So
it'll be nice.
Because it's crazy. Things are starting to hurt. And I go, that's not it's just really, really interesting.
I think exercise does play a big role in issues with getting older, as far as
huge.
I think exercise plays a big role in a lot of different aspects of your life. I fully believe that I mean, I guess because it's scientifically proven that exercise can help with mental well-being as being as well.
Yes.
It can do marvelous things, but the hardest thing to do is when you're going through depression is to want to get up and go exercise. So.
I know.
Well, and I think, there's a lot to be said about that too, because people who are on kind of the elderly side, find themselves, that exercise is kind of what really keeps their mobility going, but their mental state going.
Of course.
To have the stimulation of either people outdoors or, interactions with animals or, whatever.
And wearing clothes and not looking like, I mean, it's really hard, and this might sound a little vain, a little whatever, but.
Be vain, it's Diva Talk.
Well, I mean, just, try and date people your age that look like people. Do you know
someone
what I mean? It's like, oh my God, it's like if they, and I'm going to be blunt about it. If I had to have an intimate relationship, I'd probably start running out the doors. Yeah. And I'm not saying it because I'm judgmental or vain or anything, but it's like, I take the time to exercise. I take the time to take care of myself. That's what I kind of want in my life, And it's at my age, it's not easy to find. Not at all. People have let go by now, I
do feel like I exercise more now, and I don't know if that's more the quarantine or just, the aging process. Like, I'm just like, oh girl, don't let that hang low. Don't that.
No, with me, it was kind of like, with me, it was kind of like we were brought up that way. Like ever since high school, I remember my mom, always saying, you got to take, and it's really funny. Like, where did that come from? Because they didn't grow up in that kind of culture at all. The workout culture, the taking care of yourself culture. I mean, they always maintained, but she made sure that we went to the gym. If we ate too much, she would say no. It was like kind of like, and it wasn't told to us in a negative way. So it's not like we have an eating issue or anything like that, right? But she would, she would educate us more or less, right? So I remember I took weightlifting in high school. I was always in sports. When I got to college, I still took, active things, classes and stuff like that. And I remember one semester that I didn't, oh my God, I just gained a lot of weight that was very uncomfortable and made it hard for me to concentrate. I mean, it's like, it was really interesting what not exercising did.
And for our viewers, if you haven't seen our body image conversation, be sure to check that out.
Yeah, that's a great plug for that conversation right here.
It's important.
It is.
I mean, I was telling Karen, I'll wake up in the morning and say, wow, you look so good. But I say it because it's an affirmation to myself in the mirror. But at some point you're like, oh my God, and what's that sticking out? What's that? And what's happening over there? And why is your muscles look like that? It's really funny what the mind does. Yes.
Totally.
Well, I say it because I believe it. And I'm trying to find the nearest nude beach so the world
yes.
can see me naked.
Nudism.
Yeah. I actually just had for my 45th birthday, I treated myself to nude photos.
There you go.
Oh, and they're gorgeous too.
Gonna work it.
They're gorgeous. I think that's actually a really good thing to do for yourself, as we get older too. And, you can think about this too, Michelle, is, as we get older, like really honoring the kind of transformation in your body. And, for me, I don't know, cause we had this whole body image conversation, but, I was thinner and now I'm kind of going through the perimenopause stage. So things are kind of sticking to me that they, where they didn't stick before, even though I'm working out and I'm strong. And, I might not eat well all the time. I just got a bunch of Girl Scout cookies. So there's that. But my point is that I think that there's, when I took pictures of myself when I was in my late 20s, in lingerie. So why not do that at, J-Lo put it off, right? At the football halftime show, right? So Well, no, I do think, going back to what you were saying, Sixto, like kind of like how you grew up. And this is one of the things that I was asking to have in this conversation, is kind of the cultural experience of it too, because I feel like as a Westerner, I think there is this idea that we have to have accomplished something by a certain age, that there's, and for Hollywood especially, if things start to droop, sag, or if you're over a certain age, then I don't know, are you castable, or are you going to get cast in these other roles? So I just feel like society plays kind of a similar role in that, or influence in that too. Do you guys feel like, I don't know, do you have issues getting older?
I mean, I don't have issues getting older, but I absolutely see what you're talking about, especially now with social media on top of it. I follow 10 to 12 bloggers, Instagram influencers, and a lot of them are moms. I like to see the families. I've had baby fever since I was 3. So the fact that I am now 30, I don't have children yet. I'm like, okay, let's go. So I like to see these other families, but then you see these, you don't necessarily know the age range of these influencers that you're watching every day, and they're gorgeous, and they have all these new things, and it's they work out all the time, and they have the time to do these things, and they go on these vacations, and they're working out on this vacation. It's like, wow, that's the last thing I'm doing on a vacation. And so it's not even just in Hollywood.
Yeah,
these things are being thrown into your face. It's on every day in your Instagram and your Facebook. And that is something that I wish Victoria was here today. That is something that her generation is the first generation for their entire lives to have to deal with that.
You got it.
Their entire life.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Go ahead.
No, it's making that it's making life quite a bit challenging for that age group.
Absolutely, and I can't see how it would not.
Yeah.
It's worrisome for whenever I do have children. It's what do you block? How do you block it? How do you tell your daughter or your son that they're beautiful and have them believe it when all of these people that they see every day are filtered and are only showing the good parts? I like the influencers I follow, because a lot of times they'll be like, this is not my real life. It is, but this is a moment out of the entire day that I'm showing you right here, and it's filtered and it's processed. And they'll tell you every once in a while, they get on there, they're like, please remember, this is not what you see. This is a filter. This is not real. No one can strive to this in reality. We would all have plastic surgery and be making our faces look crazy if that's what we wanted. And and that scares me about growing up. It scares me about having children, is because I'm 30 years old and I'm influenced by these people every single day. What makeup product do I want to buy? They're working out with this equipment, even though I don't work out. I wish I did. So should I buy this? And then you blow through money like crazy. And at 30 years old, at being a full-blown adult, as much as I don't believe it, I know I am an adult legally, to be influenced like that in every aspect. I turn on the TV, I turn on my phone, I walk down the street, you see people taking pictures of themselves. It scares me for Victoria's generation. It scares me for my children, that all of these generations to come that will never be without it in their face.
Yeah. Well, it's great you're concerned. I think it's great you're concerned, because it's true. I was just thinking about this the other day, because it came up with a friend and their daughter and their son. And, this is at an age when kids should be going out and experimenting and seeing things and hiking, whatever, being out with people. And these kids don't want to go out. They just want to sit in a room and watch television. And it's like, get out. you know, when you go out and you see the wonders of life, it's like, it's mind changing. You know, we don't know how it's affecting us in such a negative way, where my fear is when, like, I didn't grow up with it at all. You know, in the 90s is when the internet became big. So yeah, I adjusted to it. I'm much a computer geek. I love all this stuff, right? And, you know, the millennials had half, but the kids that are growing up now, they've been online probably since they were born. You know, when they were born, someone probably took a picture of the baby coming out and posted it. You know what I mean? And it's going to get to a point. It's like this generation that's growing up in this illusion of beauty, this illusion of happiness, this illusion of family life, this illusion of what the world should be like. How is that going to be compared to us that had half that really know what the reality of life is, right? It's going to be very interesting because they're going to be making all the decisions for the world.
Well,
you know?
kind of going back to that point of, you know, when you do see something through a filter, you know, again, you're not seeing something sag or wrinkled. And so, because the idea behind that is that you're not supposed to have that. You're not supposed to have these age lines, these kinds of things that, you know, might. And look, I have an issue with it all. Like, I mean, I've spent so much money on neck creams right there. So, you know, it's like, I get it.
I
Like,
use tape.
Yeah, just
I get Scotch tape. Like this.
Just walk around like this.
Just kidding.
I mean,
I can't drink my mouth. Stay tuned next week for our continued conversation about age.